Hey, what's up, y'all? What's cracking? What's popping? It's D. About to react to this vid by Playback. It's titled Adin Ross, Stop Platforming Weirdos. And Charleston White is in the thumbnail. Of course, Adin would have Charleston in a video. Are we surprised? Are we? He does what he has to do for clout and attention, continued views. So there's that. Anyway, let's see what happens. Let's watch.
Charleston White in. In the beginning, I thought it'd be wholesome, man. I thought it'd be alright. This right here was my favorite clip right here the other day, man. When I saw
what is wholesome
you must
about?
have no grandmama.
Nah, I gotta go my still to the
Your grandmama tell on police. She'll call the police somebody do something wrong.
Nah, she mad at this.
She see somebody breaking her neighbor house, you lying to me. You ain't not no Jesus. Do she believe in Jesus?
Call her. Yes. Call your grandmother.
She'll tell.
So Granny, so you in the house, you see somebody breaking into your neighbor's house. Is you gonna say something? Or you gonna mind your business?
absolutely. See, Granny gonna call 911. Charleston.
Why would I? If I'm a granny, I mean, some people I'm a granny. I'm not about to just not say anything and mind my business, and then this nigga come over to my house and rob me the next day. What sense does that make? If this nigga on the loose robbing people, I'm gonna call the police. There have been multiple incidents where people have robbed like multiple houses in the neighborhood. So I'm gonna sit there waiting like a sitting duck for him to come rob me next. Let's use common sense.
Do that, man. So you had some good clips like that. Okay. There's some good content, man. But then things went left, man. Things went left, and they went left and never got back right, bro.
Listen, this man was asking me a question. This man, nigga, you gay, nigga. You into my dick, though. But you into my dick, though, gay ass nigga. Nigga, you watch out what you want to do. You gay, nigga. Gay ass nigga. You a gay nigga. Gay ass punk, nigga. Bitch ass nigga, you came and jumped in, nigga. You ain't gonna do nothing, nigga. What you gonna do? What you gonna do? I know what it do. Then I'm gonna throw the bitch. Then I'm gonna, what you gonna do, bitch ass? What? And I'm gonna spray it.
Good dick, nigga, benefits clips.
So there's a bunch of clips like that where it wasn't all that. Adin is hilarious. Adin is so quick to like just get out of there.
I thought he was gonna stop crying.
Yeah.
I thought he was gonna stop him.
No, he was like, no, y'all got it. Y'all can have it. Y'all got it. It's cool. That was
on Charleston White though. That exchange escalated. He escalated everything.
That's just
he got loud. He stood up first. Like he was antagonizing the whole time. I can't even get mad at crying for responding that way.
Did you see when they went to that restaurant, that famous restaurant where the waitresses are rude to people?
Yeah.
And then Charleston was like,
He said, give me a supervisor. What the fuck wrong with him?
It's my job to be bitchy. I'm not gonna be nice. It's my fucking house. You want or not?
Who would come to a business meeting? Wait, I saw something like this. It was in Chicago though. It was. I wonder if this one is in Atlanta because I heard it's another one in Atlanta. Y'all are sick in the fucking head. Why would I pay to be belittled?
There's another back and forth where Charleston's having a conversation with. And he's actually had most streams with Adin because they talked about Bronny one time. They talked about a bunch of things. And really, what made people believe that this is kind of just Adin introducing Charleston White to the streaming world, so he can then get a kick deal. Adin, who he's co-owner, right, or he has some type of ownership of part of the kick. At least this is what this is understood. That's the benefit of it. So he's introducing Charleston White into the world, man. And I'm gonna be honest with you, I don't know how familiar Adin is with him because I would not have introduced this nigga to the streaming world. But everything
that's why he had him on the stream. He knows how controversial he is.
Kids love King Von. Let's make our kids love Hitler.
What?
Why the fuck do we give everybody a platform? Like everybody, okay.
Where's the equivalency?
But we dead ass as a society. Ironically, we're doing the same thing. Well, we give these.
I mean, obviously it's murder, but the numbers don't even compare.
He gets so much attention. Like he's getting off on the fact that he knows that when he says something outrageous next, hella niggas is gonna be quote tweeting it and there's gonna be TikToks about it. And I've probably seen 5 clips of this nigga saying nut shit in the past 2 days on my Twitter or even on my TikTok. And it's like non-stop barrage. You can't even juke it. But that's what people celebrate now. We can't even get mad at it. Because you can sit there and get mad at it, but the reason why we even know about it is because people are paying attention. On everything, I bet there's people like him that we're not paying attention attention to because the things they say aren't as extreme.
Now what he said is completely 100% true because for those who don't know, I don't know what Charleston White is known for. I actually have no idea who he is. Outside of just saying crazy stuff on the internet.
The snitching clip, I think, is what first set him off. Where he was like, I'm a snitch. I think that was a clip that kind of set it off. And because that was such a crazy take.
Who is
There's
he?
so much shame around the idea of snitching.
I think what you said is true, but I think another reason why Charleston White gets so much momentum in his name and stuff like that is because he says things that to a lot of people it actually makes sense, and they're like happy that he's bold enough to just say it.
Yeah.
And it may be that. I remember also in the beginning where he would say he would almost set up businesses for like claims and stuff like that, where like something would happen and then all of a sudden it's like, oh yeah, I'm about to get like Home Depot or such and such with this lawsuit or unsafe environment and whatever. And so he's done that, and people just put him on interviews as he just says reckless things. This is a perfect example of somebody that I genuinely believe it went from something as like funny and controversial as snitching and setting up companies with lawsuits, and now he's just like, I have to just keep talking to myself. I have to keep saying the most crazy things. And so now we're here where he's like ranting about like some of the most foul things I've ever heard in my life.
I don't think that's why I heard.
Raping white women. He's talking about the mustache man. He's talking about, and those who don't know, Adin is he's Jewish. He's talking a bunch of just crazy stuff, bro. And you're right, bro. I genuinely don't know, and I don't know if Adin was familiar with his content. Bro, people like this, like trying to stand next to people like this is just ridiculous. There's a certain point in time where there's like some level of morality you would have to have and tell yourself like, bro, I'm not about to platform this man, not only on my stream, but also potentially on a platform that I co-own. Like, I'm not about to sit here and do this and try to make money.
I agree. I feel like there is a big difference between platforming them and trying to get them more exposure and more attention and more views and a fucking kick deal versus talking about him and pointing out how ridiculous he is. I feel like when commentary channels and reaction channels react to the ridiculousness on the internet, Charles White, what's his name? Charles, whatever his name is, Winston, him and other, ridiculous people, I feel like the commentary and the reaction channels tend to point out how stupid they sound and why, versus Adin is just literally like elevating him and exposing more people to him as like in a fan way.
Any means possible. It's the same thing that we had about, I'm pretty sure we made a video about him in Fresh and Fit. It's the same thing about that. Like where they had him on a podcast and people pay him. Allegedly, he claims that people pay him to come on just for him to just say some ridiculous stuff. So he's incentivized just off of payment alone for him to come on people's platform and say ridiculous stuff. And people still just eat that shit up all the time, bro. The most ridiculous things. And the shit he said, I mean, honest with y'all, playback, we can't even play it, bro.
Yeah, it was so nuts. He was talking about supporting the mustache man to get back, and how if Jewish people listen to King Von, like black kids should start listening to the mustache man. Like just insane things. Like, bro, like on top of just being extreme for the sake of being extreme, like he said wild shit. Like you're right, platforming him is kind of nuts. But like maybe Adin is just seeing this as like a content thing. Bringing this nigga to a restaurant where they're gonna be talking shit and he's just vulgar and uncensored is gonna be good comedy. And it was fantastic content. But you have to.
What's wrong with being a casual though? So?
You have to understand, and honestly, like, I don't know. It's like, I feel like you can't even dodge these situations. You can't dodge them no more. It's just inevitable. I think just don't.
If you can't see, his shirt says casual, and then under it says knows very little about the NBA.
Impossible. So. In every way, you are incentivized to just say wild stuff. Even with this channel, like if you say something really insane right now, it's gonna be remembered and probably clipped and then shared. But then more people are gonna know about it. Why do you think all those other podcasts or even commentary channels, like it's so easy to fall into the rabbit hole of just saying what you think is gonna work instead of what you actually believe is right. You feel me? I just like in every way people are incentivized to be louder and more stubborn and just it's like being neutral or in between is not fun to people and so like people like him keep spawning. He's not gonna be the last one.
I know he's not, but isn't it crazy that like because we got criticized for that where we're like, oh y'all are too neutral, y'all too in the middle, and it's so funny because you try to use, I think it was Sneeko when you said it was like you telling Sneeko like, no bro, people like him exist. People like him who just want to say crazy wild things and get financially incentivized off of that. Those people are way more detrimental.
Some people have neutral stances.
And that's actually what it looks like. like concept that like having nuance is so beneficial for you when the reality is not, bro.
Okay, you got two options in life, right? Let's say you go to school, then you go to university for 4 years, and then now you're in a little bit of debt, but then you get out, you get an entry-level job, and then over the next couple of decades, you grow it, and now you have a nice career, you're making $80K a year. Like, you're living a good life, you feel me? But that takes decades. Or you can just take a fucking risk, roll some fucking dice, and say some nut shit on the internet, see if they give you a career and a fucking kick deal.
Facts.
That's insane. Which one are you gonna do, bro? Because a lot of people are starting to choose the second option in this scenario. Because the first option seems
there are
boring
other
to a lot of
options,
niggas, and like most of the time niggas don't want to work for nobody else. And especially not hard, and especially over long durations of time, which is fair, honestly. But the point is in every way in society, you're kind of incentivized to do dumber and dumber and dumber and crazier and crazier and crazier things. Yeah. And I think now that we got these algorithms that feed us shit like this, you can't go on Twitter without seeing another fight compilation of some sort. Or
isn't that getting tired though? I be blocking those accounts.
I have to. Yeah, I'm gonna start doing that because I booted up Twitter yesterday while I was live. Luckily I didn't show the screen. I just saw a woman get destroyed by a moving car. Yeah, I'm like, what the fuck is that on my feed for? It's your shut the fuck up, nigga. It's not TikTok, IG, or YouTube, or Facebook. Let's not give Twitter that much credit.
Let's keep you honest.
There's no algorithm there.
But I never start seeing this stuff until
Elon took the shit. That nigga's wilding right now. Yeah. And he knows.
All I see is porn.
If you send a clip of a woman getting hit by a car to everybody, more people's gonna interact with that than a generic clip of somebody talking about a keyboard, right? Yeah. So that's what's happening. The point is, I think as we
I don't see any of that on Twitter.
Entertain these more extreme figures, more and more people are gonna want to be like him, and those people are gonna be grifters, right? But we've seen grifters succeed.
Yeah, that's why
I think he's a real deal, but people are gonna say he's a real deal crazy.
Okay, all right. But I think so. You don't think he grifting?
Nah. He's
legit. This is what he is.
Yeah, okay, all right, cool. I think a lot of people will start to grift though. You feel me? So like. Yes. So there'll be like an Andrew Tate that comes out. I think he's the real deal. I think he means some of the shit he says, right? Okay. And then there'll be clones that see that success and start to like populate around that ecosystem of crazy stuff. But like at the end of the day, like whether or not you agree or disagree with, he could have a nugget of truth of something that's just filled in hate, and people are gonna find a way to celebrate it. That's just insane to me. There's no way to celebrate anything the Mustache Man ever said because he was fueled with hate, and trying to do anything positive in the world with hate is next to impossible. You're just going to inspire more hate and more division, and that's going to inspire more hate and more division. That's a cycle, bro. That's how you start cycles.
And some like young people out there who do want to get in content creation and they want to find, the way to try to gain some popularity. I know when we speak about it, it's through the lens of like the level of privilege, and like of course it's easy for y'all to say that because y'all are da-da-da-da-da. But I'm telling you right now, bro, going out and just doing and saying crazy things for like clicks and views is so unfulfilling. Like there's gonna be a moment, and it probably in his life as well. But he's older, so he probably doesn't care that much. But there's gonna be a moment in your life, if that's what you do, where you're gonna sit back and look at all the things that you've done and realize like there's nothing constructive, positive that I've done to put myself in this position. And then at some point, all of the hate comments, all the ridicule is gonna get to you, bro. It's gonna eat at your soul to its core. Unless you're truly an evil person. If you are trying to just say things for the sake of reactions and interactions and views and all the other stuff, then yeah, if you are that type of person, bro, it's not worth it in the long haul. Like from a mentality standpoint, your soul, who you are in your core, where you're gonna feel empty. You're going to feel you have something that needs to be fulfilled in you, and it's not going to be there. And trust me, bro, likes, clicks, views, bro, all that stuff is not fulfilling, bro. And on top of that, bro, you build something of substance that's going to last way much longer. I don't know how long Charleston White's run is going to be, but trust me, it's not going to be as long as
somebody about the Dolan twins when he said that.
Something of substance and build off of that, and that process is way more fulfilling. But yo, what is it?
Obviously, in a different way, but I just reacted to the Dolan twins not too long ago, and they were talking about how they were putting up all these vlogs and like coming up with this fake drama and like feeding into what they felt like people wanted to see, but it didn't fulfill them at all, and it just got to a point where they just stopped doing videos altogether. They fell off for like, I think it was 2 years or something like that, just because they like we don't like this, we don't like this type of environment that we're creating, you know, on our channel. This is not fulfilling us. We're just doing this just for attention and views. But it wasn't worth it for them in the end. So, yeah, I definitely feel like they were speaking facts in this vid for sure. But, yeah, I'm not surprised at all that Adin is uplifting Charleston. Like, Adin is weird himself. So, this title, Adin Ross, Stop Platforming Weirdos, Adin is the weirdo himself. So, birds of a feather. You know the saying. Anyway, y'all let me know what y'all think though. Let me know what other videos you want to watch, and I'll see y'all in the next one.